know that anxiety in the heart of man causes depression? But a good word makes it glad. Here's Dr. Gloria Mitchell with good news for you, a weekly program to encourage your heart.
Hello, my friend. I'm Gloria Mitchell with good news for you. This week we have part 2 of the message that is from Proverbs 23:12, which says, "Pay attention to your teacher and learn all you can." And so I was sharing with and am sharing again with Clara Williams, who's sharing about her grandfather, whose name is
James Madison Donald.
Okay, James Madison Donald. And so as we're remembering him today and her growing up in the country somewhere near Tallahassee, today's version of Tallahassee, but you tell us where that is.
That's in Sinai. It's near Tallahassee, Florida. And my grandfather lived on the east side of that Chattahoochee River.
Okay, the Chattahoochee River.
Yeah.
Well, they had some names, didn't
Yeah,
they?
Indian names. Yes.
Okay, Indian names. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So
When I was growing up, I was starting to school. This is a little after my mom died, and I had been playing all summer with the kids in the neighborhood in the country. They were white, and some of them were white, and we were colored. But we played together, got fruit off the trees, and ate that. I had a good time just playing kids. And then when school started, they were going to a different school, and they also rode a bus. And I said, "Papa, when am I going to ride the bus? The bus coming to pick me up, Papa?" And he said, "No, you're going to walk to school, and you're going to the Baptist church." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because that's the way it is." "Why, Papa?" He said, "Because you're colored and they're white. But that's the only difference. Remember that, Pigeon. That's the only difference between you." That's the way he emphasized that. And he always taught me, don't ever think anybody is better than you because of skin color.
So
And he was very emphatic about that.
okay, emphatic to the point of, I understand, sticking his finger
In my face. I was a little kid, about 5, 6 years old. "Don't you ever forget that." Yeah. And I said, "Okay, Papa."
So we're all cut from the same cookie cutter,
Yeah,
the same mold.
Yeah, just come in different colors. He said, just like flowers.
Oh, God likes variety.
Yeah, flowers. Yeah.
That's wonderful. And then I heard you tell a story about a cousin that had you tell us about your cousin.
Papa had 2 brothers that I knew about, but one came up later. He came back, and he was a sharecropper. But he had a daughter named Bythie.
Bythie?
Bythie.
Okay,
that's how
Bythie.
they said it.
All right, go ahead.
Bythie. And she was tall. She must have been about 7 feet tall.
Ooh.
And she was a great big lady. I don't know how many pounds. She was a great big lady, maybe about 700 pounds. And she got to the place that she could go out her door sideways. And then we kids used to go to church and come back by our house, and she'd have lemonade or cookies or sugar cookies or something for us. She always did that. We'd have to go in the house to get it. This particular day, Josephine went in first. She was always first.
Josephine?
Yeah.
That's your cousin,
That's
Josephine?
my cousin.
Okay.
And she went in and she looked at her, and then she said, "Mumsy, y'all come in here." And she was laying up there with her eyes open. Then, oh my goodness, we took off. All the kids ran home, told the parents, and my grandma, Mama, and Miss Izzy and Aunt Dora went down, and she was dead.
She was dead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now they bathed her, washed her, and they had a casket for her. The casket couldn't get in the house. They had to put her out on the porch and put in it. It was about 7 or 8 people trying to push it down in the casket.
Trying to push her body down in the casket.
Yeah.
The casket was too small?
No, they got the Tom Liddon, Papa's friend. He was a white fella. He was a merchant, and Papa sold a lot of his crops to that man. He was a good man. He always helped Papa. He did a lot of work, told Papa what was going on in the community and everything. He told him everything about what was crops to plant, where to put them, how to rotate them, everything. And Papa learned from that. So he had saved this casket for his niece. Papa didn't know it. So they got the casket and put it in it. That's how they got it. But it was a trip. They didn't have a funeral at the church. They sang a sermon. They sang a song, and the pastor said a few words, and they took it down to the graveyard, and there was a wagon going down the road and did ditches in the road. People were walking. Every white and colored was going down to see what would happen. They thought that casket, surely it was going to fall. The mules were pulling very strong. Oh boy, it was terrible. So they went down there and had a rope chained around a tree and the ropes, and they let it down in the grave, and everybody. Some folk were up in the trees watching
To see if it
see
would
if
break.
it was gonna break and fall. But it didn't. It got down there. And the white people, they wanted to see it too, in support for Papa, because a lot of white people love Papa. Him. Now he had two other brothers that I heard about, Uncle Tom and Uncle Adam. They were close, but Papa was the one that worked with and supported. And there one time he was buying so much land. They had so much land that Ku Klux Klan was going to run them away. And Tom Litton told them about it, asked them if they had any guns.
Who was Tom Litton?
He was a merchant in the town.
Okay, a white merchant in the town?
Yeah, and he
Okay.
knew Papa ever since he was a boy.
Okay.
So he always supported and helped him in any way he could. So he told him about this Klan and asked him if they had guns. They said shotguns. So, well, you need something more. And so they gave him he sold them Winchesters.
Oh, Winchester.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was-
I'm not familiar with them,
well,
but I'm sure they must be
it
more
would
powerful.
shoot 16 times without reloading.
Oh, okay.
So they did come down there, and Uncle John, that's Papa's uncle, his mother's brother, came along with some of his nephews were older than his kids, and Uncle Bonnie, his older brother, his oldest son, Uncle Bonnie, he was a short guy. So he was there. They were up in trees and around under the house, and they had the shotguns, but Papa, his brothers, and his brother-in-law had those repeating Winchesters. And when they came, they were ready for him. They called Papa because he was the leader. And they went to his house.
Okay, they
Yeah.
call Mr. Donald.
No, they said, Mr. Donald, hey, boy, Jim, come out of here. And Papa, they were on the porch waiting. And Papa said, I'm here. I'm here. That surprised them. It was about 20 of them on horses. They'd heard him coming. And they said, you're going to leave here tonight with them young'uns and that woman of yours. You're leaving here tonight and we're going to kill you. Burn up everything. Papa said, I own this land. And if you come through that first gate, we may die, but somebody else is going to die. We're not giving up our land for anybody. And so they lit their sticks.
Did they burn a cross?
Yeah, they had the mask on, those white things on. They were dressed. And so when they lit the stick, his uncle shot an arrow and put it out. And somebody shot a gun, those were shotguns. And they hit one of them in the shoulder, and all of a sudden they said, "Ooh, these people are all everywhere." They had a whole bunch of folks around here, so that they left.
Oh, the Klansmen left.
It was about 20 of them. They left and never bothered Papa and them again. And Papa told them before they left, "You come back, we're gonna kill you. You come back on my land anywhere, you will be seen, and we will kill you."
Papa took a stand against the Klan?
Yeah. against
Oh,
the
you
Klan.
had a bad Papa.
He was bad. He told me about that so many times. Oh Lord, he was very firm about that. And Lyndon was his friend, and he took care of him. Always let him know when things were going to happen. He's come down on his buggy. When I was a little kid, I remember him coming down on his buggy to see Papa. And Papa would sit on the buggy with him and they talk. And then sometime they get off and they sit on a great big log, red oak log that was in outer front yard. and they talked there. And sometimes this man would go in Mama's kitchen with her and Papa, and they drank coffee and eat sweetbread. Sweet bread.
Oh, I remember sweet bread.
Yeah.
Mama used to make
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
And he loved sweet bread. He loved sweet bread. And then he'd take his wife some vegetables from Mama's garden. It was a good life. I never knew what prejudice was. I went to the store with him and Mama when they would buy me shoes. I know it was always late, but he would wait until everybody was gone, and then we could come in and try shoes on. Other than that, you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that. I just thought we were late going to town. Papa was, he was something else. I was so proud of him. I loved him so much. He was a great man.
I want to talk about your grandpa's education. You're saying that the white boy that was nursed by his mother taught him everything he knew, but did the other folks, other members of the family, were they able to read?
No.
Go ahead, tell us.
Nobody was able to read in the family except Papa. And that's why, because the folks wanted to take him to Philadelphia with them.
The white folks that left, the King family.
Yeah, they wanted to take him because he was so bright. They thought, take him up there. He could help his son. That's what he was thinking because they were friends.
Yes.
And so his mama said, no, he's the only one that can read and write. We want him here.
Okay.
And so that's why he stayed. He didn't want to stay because he knew the boy. He was very, very close to him, but not to his brothers, because his brothers were older, and they treated him like he was a little offspring. But his sister Amanda was nice to him, so she kind of took up for him.
Well, if you had one thing that you really, really remember that your papa taught you that you will never, ever forget, what would that be?
Him pointing his finger and telling me, don't you ever forget you are just as good as anybody else. The only difference is the color of your skin. Don't you forget that. Don't you forget that picture. And I said, okay, Papa, okay. And I was little when he said, I was just starting to school, 5 or 6 years old, And so, but I never forgot that. And one of the other things he used to say all the time, sometimes he was getting up, going to the kitchen, he'd say, climbing up the mountain, kids, trying to reach the top. If it once you don't succeed, try and try again. I have never forgotten that. Those are two things he said that sticks in my heart. That sticks in me.
Well, for our listeners now, I'd like for you to share a word of wisdom, a brief word of wisdom for your 87 years. Would you tell us something that you want us never to forget?
Never forget. Never forget that what your parents taught you or tried to teach you, it was the best of their ability. They did the best that they could. Never forget that God is in control of everything and that He is the head of everything. Regardless of what's going on around you, don't forget God is. And that's one of the things that Papa taught me, Mama too, taught me about believing in God. That there is a creator. And the way they were taught was different from the way I was taught. But they taught the way they knew, the best they could. You have to remember, they came from slavery. And they learned what they could as they grew. And they learned, Papa taught Mama how to read the Bible. Mama could read the Bible, but she couldn't do nothing else about writing. Yet she couldn't write a name. When they bought land, Mama made an X. Papa always signed his name.
Well, that's a great point to end on right here.
Yes.
So I am truly grateful. We're out of time, but may God bless you for sharing.
Thank you.
And may the good news bless you, my friends.
Yes.
Remember, Jesus loves you, and I'm praying for you.
Yes.
Have a blessed day.
Yes.
Thank you, Clara.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Dr. Gloria Mitchell, author of The Garbage Man's Daughter, a book series written with hurting people and broken families in mind. You can contact Gloria Mitchell by calling
I hope you got it.
312-973-58